excited am I, Peter? This is fantastic. I'm losing my Simply Good Food TV virginity today. So here we are. Welcome to Chateau Barden. It's a real privilege, and I'm looking forward to it. I've got to be fun, because the key with all cooking is that it's got to be fun. And if you lose that element, well, you should be doing something else, or take a break. Remind me of that as I'm doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning, having to cook. There's an old adage as well that you're better off cooking one dish 100 times than 100 dishes once. And of course, I do exactly the opposite. I'm always test driving new dishes, and you know, I wish I could do one dish 100 times, but you know, reality is quite different to that. So what have you?
What are we cooking today?
We're going to, it's a turkey. It's a big turkey.
Okay.
It's an enormous turkey. We'll find out how big in a second. But this is a Spanish turkey for Christmas. Here we go. This is the book it's from. It's Miriam Gonzalez Durantes, made in Spain. And she's a remarkable woman. She's a London-based lawyer. She's got a charity basically inspiring women, which is, again, pretty much what it says on the tin. But also, she's married to Nick Clegg, a former Lib Dem leader. Also, what I love about this book is a lot of her childhood memories. And she was saying that at Christmas they would have their turkey. They would have turkey. I know a lot of people have fish and what have you. But yeah, turkey. They would have turkey, and they would have it on the 24th, so on Christmas Eve, which is traditional on the continent to be having it that way. And I have this. Here we go. Oh my goodness me! Here we go. Coming up. This is a turkey which she'd suggested that we brine it. Maybe more of a tradition for her, because all the kids got involved. So it could be 12, 24 hours. And basically, there's a big old turkey in here, which you'll see in a minute as I bring it out. But in there, apart from covering it in water, I put a bit of salt, sea salt, and also I put some sugar in there, and I've used palm sugar actually, just because my sister-in-law used to live in Cambodia, and she brought this back, and I love doing it. It's a really raw product. It's much rawer on some of the more refined sugars, yeah, which I like about that a lot. It's a much simpler ingredient. And also into there has gone some leeks, chopped up leeks, onions, and again, this is such a Spanish dish, because they say, but it's not just oranges chopped in half, but there's mandarins as well. So, I mean, in Britain, we probably wouldn't differentiate, certainly for a brining. I've got some parsley from the garden in there, and then, yeah, port. That's what I've got, but no ordinary port.
Right.
I've gone for some slow motion. So this is slow port liqueur. It's from Slow Motion, who are based in Yorkshire, Green Farm, Bartonley Willows near York. Jonathan Curtois, Slow Motion, Life on the Hedge. Right. Boom, boom, thank you. And he and his Mrs. Claire set the business up. And I'm lucky enough to be involved with the Great Taste Awards, do a lot of judging with them. And this is the type of product we want to really be artisans, so you can give a voice to them, because this is a great product. Nearly all the slows they use come from the northeast if they can. Right. And originally it was obviously gin, but now they've gone out into ports, whiskies, what have you. So I put a couple of good glasses in there. So this is it. So I'm going to take it over to the fridge, sorry, a sink even, hello. And because this is a big beast. And bay leaves in there as well. Just gonna put it into the sink. Now I tried to weigh this early on, and my kitchen scales go up to 5 kilos, and they were groaning. They couldn't actually. So what I did, I went up to the, I went up to our bathroom and got the scales out. And then realised I'd got no batteries in, couldn't find any of those square batteries in the house. Went up to the kids' bathroom, and rather worryingly, they've got scales in there, because I don't want them to worry about their weight at all. That's a ridiculous thing at their ages. 3 lads, 10, 14, 16, so it's quite a lively world we're in, Peter. Welcome to Chateau Chaos. But I got it down, so I ended up standing on the scales with this rather beautiful bird. And then I worked out that it's about 7.5 kilos.
Right.
And it's
a big girl, then.
yeah, absolutely. It's from Copus, and they've been at it. I think since 1957 was when they set it all up. To a Maidenhead Way and Berkshire, and Dad Tom, I think, was given a gift of about 130 turkeys because the family have been farming, I think, gosh, since the 1600s, and he made a success of it and has gone on from there. So a lot of them, you can see from the back, these have got black feet. These will have had, you can see here, these had black feathers because this is a black turkey, you know, and this is exactly how it was, the game birds that came over from America. And I love these because they've got lots of flavour as well.
Do you always have turkey?
Your turkey and quite often goose as well.
I like
But we will normally at some stage over Christmas have a rib of beef as well. Right, so basically that's dabbed down nicely, thank you. So I'll just put that over there for a minute. But that is a beautiful, beautiful bird, and it really, you don't need to overcomplicate it. You've got something as good as that. It's been hung, you know, it's a well-hung bird, hey-ho, but it's one of the key factors is quite gamey, because if you dry hang them, you know, you're going to get that lovely intensity of flavour as well. And I think that's the key. And again, quite often you as well, doing these breast side down to start with, because they get basted from the back,
yeah.
And then you flip them over onto their backs about 3/4 of the way through the cooking process. So these are apples here, a variety of, which...
So what are the apples for?
Going to use these as a stuffing, a very rough stuffing, right. Yeah. So,
what type of apple are they?
well, a variety of, and that's what Miriam suggested, because she likes the idea of different flavours and textures, and we've certainly got those. And we've got a few apple trees here out the back in the garden, so we've used some of those.
You get kind of different acidities, don't
yeah.
you? Sweetness and...
Well, that's the point. Some of ours are cookers, some are eaters. I know there's a Cox out there that's probably the most uniform and regular of all our trees. But again, you don't have to be too... You can see that's very hempen homespun, you know, and these... but I love, and we also press them for apple juice. So here again, it's really all about just stuffing the bird with some good fine ingredients, and then it makes for a perfect gravy as well, because that's what you're going to do. We're going to put some water into our roasting dish as well.
So any top tips for Christmas Day dinner?
Yeah, you can do as much in advance as possible. I think that helps. Yeah. Certainly like peeling potatoes and things like that. You can just put them in water, put a bit of ice in there, holds the colour.
Do you cook on Christmas Day?
Yeah, we all do. We have about 20 of us sitting down. So it'll be a variety of different people doing different bits and bobs. But yeah, we do. But again, with a turkey like this, Copa's fantastic. Kelly, obviously, Kelly Bronze, Paul Kelly, you know, there's some brilliant turkeys available. I think Copas do 30,000 of these, to put it in perspective, which sounds a lot, but it's tiny compared to the market, you know, which is just enormous. You know, we eat a lot of turkey at Christmas, but, you know, that's an interloper from the States, because originally we would have been eating beef if you were lucky enough to be able to afford it, or goose. Yeah. And I do love a goose as well, I have to say.
Now a goose is probably more expensive than a turkey.
Yeah, I know, that's a certain irony. But again, at Christmas, on Christmas Day, I think, and I also do quite a lot with the leftovers as well. I mean, I can do a mole or something like that. A mole with the leftovers, the turkey, so I always make more than we need. And that's a great way of doing it. So, Mexican dish with chocolate and chili. Of course, chocolate, of course, is actually naturally bitter. It's only because we add loads of sugar to it. This is one of my favourite kind of bowls here. It could be a bedpan, could be anything.
So this is for the stuff in the apples
Yeah,
and the onions.
yeah. Here, it's just a matter, really, of getting some butter under the skin. Yeah, you can. I mean, to be honest, there is another school of thought as well, where actually you just put a bit of rosemary in it and maybe pour some oil over it, and that's it. You know, you don't need to overcomplicate it as well and cook it quite quickly. So, but I wouldn't worry about it doing. These are just nice touches, but they're not essential.
No.
And if you get the right bird, I think that's the key. Getting the right bird is. But if you do, then you don't have to monkey around with it too much. And I mean, you will pay more for it, but at this time of year, it's great flavour. And I know a lot of people get crowns, but to be honest, you pay as much for a crown, you know, as you do a bird.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on all the legs and things, which I think is where the flavour is. You know.
I think the thigh is the
Yeah.
best bit for me.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely adore that element. So it would be a real tragedy to lose it. Okay, so this beautiful 7.5 kilo bird, and it's about 45 minutes per kilo. You can check it as you go along. I'm halfway through, we'll be having a good look at it. So in another bowl, I'm going to put in my apples and onions. Mix them all in. There we go. And in with those, I've got pine nuts, a couple of handfuls. There we go. And then I've got some prunes, 150 grams. And then, so in go the prunes. And then I've got some apricots. Pretty rough, you don't need to do too much of that. Stick to the knife rather conveniently. And then good dollop of raisins, 100 grams. I'm just going to mix those up. Pine nuts, I love it. I guess it gives it a bit of texture as well. You know, they're remarkably resilient. So out of that, I'm just going to stuff this, but not too much because I don't want it to. I want to have a bit of room. If you stuff it too much, you just have a steams away, and you know you lose. So the rest of it can go in the roasting tin. So that's probably about right. Get on the roasting tin. Here we go, and then I put butter under the skin as well, and I'm just going to put a few bay leaves as well, just to give it that nice herby hit. And I say we grow these. I mean, they're really easy to grow, bay leaves, you know, bay trees. So
they kind of stay growing all winter long, as
yeah,
well, don't they? They're one of the herbs that kind of lasts all winter long. Rosemary, thyme, bay.
Yeah, I do, because a lot of them. I mean, like parsley, it gets quite bitter after a while. So that's you lose.
I think I've lost all my mint this week.
Yeah. Yes, things like sage are quite good there. So I'm going to put this into my tray, but I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it that way.
You cook it upside down?
Yeah, I am. Just because I like the fact that it can then baste from in there. And then the remainder of all the other bits and bobs we can put around it.
That's all going to help with the gravy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And if you have an even bigger roasting tin, fine. Get as much as you want. And I think, and because we've put stuffing into the cavity, it will slow it down a bit. That's the point.
It's not a very dense filling, is it? So
No, that's the point. That's what I love about it. It isn't a traditional stuffing in that sense. That's why I want to do the Spanish theme.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to do, the final bit, is add in that port. It's about 300 millilitres. So I just zero in on my scales here.
Do you weigh it, do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's a bit like baking. I always like to weigh everything, even the liquids. I know it can vary with viscosity, but this is a beautiful. So that's about 150. Put a little bit of that around it. There you go. And again, this is very Spanish, I think, the fact that, you know, I mean, it's Spain, it could be sherry or something or what have you, but I love the fact that she's keen just to give it an extra bit of oomph. Of course, the alcohol gets burned off during cooking, so it's not as if you don't have to worry about the children too much. It'll just come through as a lovely jammy, viscous residue. Right, and I'm going to put some water in there as well, which we can top up as we go along. This is the acid. Just going to tuck my mighty Copus turkey's feet in. Yeah, wait for it. Aye. There we go. Just a bit. You don't want to drop it at this stage. So here it is. It's Spanish Christmas on a plate. Spanish turkey. Miriam Gonzalez Dorantes. Here we go. This is what they have on Christmas Eve, and this is what I cooked up today using this fantastic Copus turkey. 30,000 of these will be served up over Crimbo. I'm using a couple of spoons just so I won't embarrass myself too much. So I'm going to lift it out. There you go. Moment of truth time. Here we go. La, la, la. Got away with it, Peter. Thank you. There you go. Now, and the joy is there's lots of liquid in here, so you can strain that off, and it's just brilliant gravy. You can warm it up, do what you wish. If you want to make some more, take some of this out, leave a bit in the bottom, put it on the hob, and just add maybe some more stock. But you've got it all there. You don't need it. Just when you've strained it, you'll have a huge amount of fantastic gravy. The joy of this is that once you take it out and you can attend to your gravy, and I always do my roast potatoes separately, I have to say, and we worked out beforehand at 40 to 50 minutes per kilo, something like that. 7.5 kilo bird might take 5 hours. This took 3 hours. I just thought I got an interesting gothy label, and I tasted it. I thought, blimey, that packs a punch. It's from California. It's called Apothic Red. It's a 2012 in this case, but widely available. Lots of supermarkets stock it. And it's not that expensive. Yeah, it ranges between about £7 or £8 a bottle. But what about this for a selection of grapes in it? Zinfandel, Merlot, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon. They're all in there, and strength-wise, it is. I think it's about 13%. So it's got a little bit of 13.5. But it's a great wine, and it stands up because you don't want something to dominate the turkey, but you want something that will set up. And the fruitiness, again, one of the reasons I went for this, because it reminded me of the cranberry sauce. You've got that lovely. Well done, Miriam Gonzalez Dorantes, made in Spain at Hodder and Stoughton. It's her book. Thank you very much, Copus. That was a brilliant bird and will be much enjoyed. And don't worry, because the dishes that you can make afterwards, you can make a great turkey burger. You could do, as I say, a mole we talked about before from Mexico with chili and chocolate. Obviously people do turkey curries, but or a hash where you put in your sprouts and everything and do it all the next day. The Apothic Red and the Frobisher's pomegranate and rosé. It's yeah, happy days. Thanks for having me. Have a great Christmas, ho ho ho. I'm Nigel Barden. I will be for the rest of my filled life, and of course a stuffing, which basically you just open it out and there it is. All your prunes, your onions, your apples, they're all there, and that's that touch of sweetness just to go with it. So, in life good. Have a great year ahead.